question for you. Do you consider yourself a risk taker? I know this might sound like a silly question. It's really not. The world sees business owners as risk takers. And in my experience, those that have made it in business for over 10 years are actually risk adverse. A major part of running a business is managing risk, not jumping into it. That is, if you want to continue being in business. So I have a question. Why is this myth part of our belief system? I think business owners often like to think of themselves as rugged individuals who will climb any mountain and along the way take on risks normal people won't. It's an interesting view, and it's one that I've not experienced very often, at least not from those who have successfully owned and run businesses that have lasted for more than 5 years. So learning how to control the risk that we take is one of the hallmarks of a successful business owner. When one takes gigantic risks, eventually the bet doesn't work out and a big loss becomes a reality. And that big loss might even be big enough to put you out of business. So let's look at a really stupid but extreme example. So I've challenged you to play Russian roulette. You're given a gun and asked to point at your head. One bullet is in the chamber and you're supposed to squeeze that trigger for the big win of not killing yourself. Now, if you play this game, the odds are you won't shoot yourself, and there's a chance of bad luck where the 1/6 chance becomes reality and you find yourself dead. I know you don't want to take a risk with your life and your business, and if you've been in business for any length of time, you've learned that big bets are dangerous. If instead of your life, you're betting your company with a 1/6 chance that you kill your company, the chances are you'll decline that risk, or at least I hope you'll decline that risk. That is, you're going to decline it if you've been running a successful company. That sort of risk is just too much, and you likely would not be willing to take it. At least, I wouldn't be willing to take it. But you might say, but Josh, don't we all take risks every day? And my answer is yes, we all take risks. When we cross the street, we're taking a risk. If we look in both directions before starting, it's not much of a risk. If we don't look, then we're playing Russian roulette. So I don't want you to play Russian roulette with your life or your business. I want you to recognize that the mitigating risk is a skill you need to learn. So make sure you don't damage yourself with risk you can't afford to lose. When you're evaluating whether you should do something in your business, you need to always ask what happens if it doesn't work out. The reason for this is most of the time your ideas don't work out. And if you get lucky with a colossal risk, it's easy to become overconfident with your abilities. This is especially true if you're new in business or you're pretty young and you're just starting a business. Now, if it happens once or twice or more, you might even believe you become master of the universe for business owners. This happened to me when I first started my business, and it wasn't because I was master of the universe. It was because I just had some good, dumb luck. So this is when you could face a disaster that you can't recover from because you're overconfident. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to start thinking fail fast, fail cheap. This is a mantra you've seen me talk about before. It's a way to take risks that won't sink your business if your ideas don't work out. When you start with small experiments, it's easy to let go of things if they don't work out well. It's easy to move on and try another idea. But if instead you do a giant project with lots of moving parts and lots of risk if things don't go well, you're likely not wanting to give up. The smaller your experiment, the higher the likelihood the risk you take will be insignificant. And the opposite is true. The more you put into a deal, the more complicated it is, the higher the risk gets, and the higher the risk is that it won't work out well. So just like crossing the street, when you look both ways before you start, your risk is slight. If you don't look, then that risk could be one you regret. So I would love to have a conversation with you about risk and keeping yours to an acceptable level. So feel free contacting me at jpatrick@stage2planning.com to set up a time to talk. In the meantime, if you're not ready to talk, Download a free infographic on our Stage 2 decision process. It's a simple 5-step process that will help you make wise decisions in what you want to do. And while you're at it, scroll down and let me know what you think about how much risk you're willing to take. Hey, this is Josh Patrick. You're at The Sustainable Business. Thanks a lot for stopping by. I hope to see you back here really soon.